everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Rochelle from Rochelle.Handmade.Designs, and in this video I am doing a pattern review to my newest collection, which is the Comfort collection. Alright, now before we get started, go ahead and hit that like button and subscribe button, and also turn on the notification bell so you are notified every time I upload a new video. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this quick pattern review of what I created, which is part of hashtag summer skirt series that I am doing that will end September 18th. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the pattern description. All right, so before I get into the pattern description, let me tell you the patterns that I use. So you guys know I use my cami pattern, Simplicity 1366. I love this pattern, so I'm not doing a pattern review over it because you guys know I have a sew along for that pattern and I have done it so many times. So this pattern review is McCall 7984, which is part of the summer skirt series, which is skirt number, I believe skirt number is 5, which is the flounce skirt. The pattern I use is McCall 7984 in order to create the flounce skirt. So the top is view A and the skirt is view D. Now the pattern description for this pattern, it is a fitted wrap top with front darts and back darts. You also have a waistband with a button, and then you have different sleeve options, different sleeve variations, and a sleeve binding around the sleeve. Now view D, which is the skirt, it is a flounce skirt, different length variations. It also has 4 buttons down the front. You also have front and back darts for the skirt and a flounce with a narrow hem. So that is the pattern description for this pattern. Let's go ahead and move into skill level. So the skill level for this pattern is rated as easy. Do I feel that it's easy? Yes, I feel that it's easy and it comes together very quickly. However, I would not say this is beginner friendly. I would definitely say that it's for an intermediate beginner, someone who has experience sewing. All right, let's move into notions used. So the notions used for this pattern is I used 5 3/4 inch buttons in order to create this 2-piece set. Let's talk about fabric use. So the fabric that I use is from House of Mommy Wata. It is 100% Ankara print, and the name of the fabric is called Comfort, which that's why I called it the Comfort collection. So if you don't know, this week ending July the 17th, CJ from House of Mommy Wata is offering a 2 yards of free fabric as long as you spend $35 on fabric. You must go to her website, houseofmommywata.com, in order to get your 2 free yards once you spend $35. Now, let me explain the $35. For every $35 that you spend, you will get 2 free yards of fabric, which means if you spend $75, for instance, you will get 4 free yards of fabric. So head on over to houseofmommywata.com and get you some free fabric. All right, moving on from fabric use, let's talk about the pattern pieces used. So I'm just going to put them up on the screen because I know I needed pattern piece number 15 to 23 in order to do the skirt, and I believe the first 9 pattern pieces, I'm just going to put it up on the screen so I know I'm not incorrect, okay, on the pattern pieces. Let's talk about pattern sizing. So for this pattern, it comes in 2 pattern envelopes. The first pattern comes in 4 to 12, and the second pattern envelope comes in 12 to 20. Now the size that I cut for both patterns were size 18. Now, this pattern does come in separate cup sizes. So the cup size that I cut was a cup size C. Now, I don't know how this happened, but I gained weight in the bust area. So instead of cutting a 40 and a half that I would normally do, like a 42, my bust now is a 42 and a half. Don't know how it happened. I'm gonna say I got water on the boobs. I don't know. All right, so anyway, that's the size that I cut for this pattern. I cut a size 18, cup size C for the bodice, and then for the skirt, I also cut a size 18. The only thing, okay, so I cut a size 18. Let's talk about modifications. Did I make any modification? Absolutely. Okay, so the first modification that I made was to the bodice. I lengthened the bodice by 3 inches. I'll get into the likes and dislikes here shortly. So I lengthened the bodice by 3 inches. For the skirt, I enlarged the hips by 4 inches. Okay? Yeah, that's what I did. Did it look like the photos or the drawings on the pattern envelope? No, it did not look like the photos or the drawing on the pattern envelope. The bodice does not look exactly like the bodice on the pattern envelope because I lengthened it. However, the skirt looks exactly like View D on the pattern envelope. I was very pleased with the skirt. I love the skirt, okay? Are the instructions easy to follow? Yes, they're absolutely easy to follow. Now, for the bodice, you have to pay attention to that because you do have a front and a left front, a right front, the waistband. You have a lot of pieces for the bodice, trust me. However, the skirt has a lot of pieces too. And I was nervous because most skirts that I sewn doesn't have more than like 6 or 7 pattern pieces. This one has almost 10 pattern pieces for the skirt, but I was surprised to be done with the skirt in a little less than 2 hours after cutting it out. The sewing process came together so quickly because you just attach the left front and the right front to the back for the upper portion of the skirt, and then the flounce, you just attach that, left front, right front to the back, and then attach the flounce to the skirt. It came together so quickly. I was super, super, super duper surprised. All right. Let's talk about likes and dislikes. Let's talk about the likes first. All right, so I like the skirt. That's the only thing that I like. I love the skirt. The only thing, so I love the skirt. However, that's the only thing that I like. Let's talk about the dislike, starting with the skirt. So the skirt, the dislike that I dislike about the thing that I dislike about the skirt is I normally wear my skirts at my belly button or at my natural waist. This skirt, the waist is below your belly button. So I felt like the skirt was super duper loose, which I'm gonna go in and take in the side seams because I feel like it's super loose and it's gonna fall off of me. Like it's going to have to sit on almost my butt in order for it to fit accurately, okay? And I don't like that look, so either I'm going to have to unpick it and add a waistband or just take in the side seam. I think it would be easier for me to take in the side seams instead of adding a waistband. Just my thought. Another dislike. I don't like anything on the bodice. This bodice, I don't like nothing with this bodice. Okay, so first things first, I figured if I added 3 inches, it was gonna come all the way down and cover my belly button. That is true, it did that. However, the way I think I ignored the front portion of the pattern, which I normally do that and look at the line art. One thing that I did not take into consideration is that if I enlarge the length, lengthen it by 3 inches, then I need to go ahead and but add 3 inches at the center front. Why? Because now your tatas is showing by adding that 3 inches, okay? So this top was meant for it to be a crop top and stop right at your waist. I just want to make a note. If you decide to do this pattern and you extend it by 3 inches, please make sure at the center front, you also do the same thing and sew down that amount. Simply because after I did it, it was cute. It came together so well. But once I tried it on, I already knew. I had to use up the rest of the fabric to make a cami to go underneath it. This is why I have a cami for this fabric, because I was going to use it for something else, but I was like, there's no way I would wear this blouse or top without a cami. There's no way. It shows a lot of your midsection. It really, really does. And I was disappointed in that. Okay, so before I go into a whole rant on dislike, I'm gonna stop right there, all right? Let's talk about first time experience. I do not have any first time experiences with this pattern whatsoever. Would I sew it again? No, I would not. I would not sew it again. Now, I would not sew the bodice again. Just cut it. I'm not gonna sew it again. But the skirt, I would not sew it for myself. I think one and done is good for me. But I think if I was in a bind and needed a flounce skirt, I would probably go with the simplicity pattern that I originally wanted to go with, but I decided to use an older pattern for hashtag sewing classic out of print patterns, which is going on right now until September the 18th as well. So that's why I sewed an older pattern versus one of the new simplicity patterns that was on my mind to sew, but I decided to go with an old pattern. I should have stayed with my gut, right? But it's all right. All right, let's talk about what I recommend this pattern to others. This is a hard decision, and I like to be honest with it. So I would not recommend doing the bodice unless you're into crop tops and things of that sort. But I would recommend this pattern to do for the skirt, for the flounce skirt, because I feel that everyone probably needs a flounce skirt. However, I would say either do a waistband or make the pattern pieces at least 2 inches, add 2 inches at the top of the skirt. That's all I'm gonna say, okay, about that. All right, my pattern rating for this pattern. I gotta be honest with you guys, so I'm rating this pattern as a 3 out of 5 for various reasons that I already covered. First reason, the top, just not my vibe, and the skirt, the waist is not at your natural waist or at your belly button. It's almost at your hip, and I don't like that vibe, all right? Well, that's it for the pattern review. I styled this 4 different ways, all right? So I styled it with the cami and the blouse with the skirt. I styled it with the cami and the skirt, and then I styled it with the cami, the blouse, and jeans, and then the cami with the jeans to make it a whole complete collection. So I'm just showing you how you can take 2 patterns or make 3 different things and style it so many different ways using 1 pair of shoes. All right, well, I hope you enjoyed this pattern review. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Turn on the notification bell so you are notified every time I upload a new video. So I'll catch you in the next video, and as always, keep sewing.